What's going on, everybody? Stock Jock here, up $1,097 in the first hour of trading. I only traded about the first 20 minutes of the morning today. I had family in town, and I really didn't want to leave them unattended. So I traded the first 20 minutes, called it a day after that, and then I was like, nah. I kept coming down and coming down to the old office here and kept trading throughout the day, and that's how I got to $10,751. So overall, the day was good. It did not start off very good, though. I had some losers that started off. I think my first trade was a $4,000 loser. So anyway, we'll get into the trades right now. Before I forget, I want to invite every single one of you to my free chat room. It's on Twitch. It's where I broadcast. I trade every day on there from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. Every trade that I make, you see. Any question you have, we answer. It's a great community. It's a great group of people. Come on in. It's completely free. So this first trade is an example of what happens when I kind of break my own rules. And one of my main rules that I have is I don't trade the first minute of the market open. I just don't do it. There's no setup there. There's nothing but trouble there. And I got caught. So I wanted to play Tesla. It was my favorite. It was one of two stocks I was looking at going into today as like my two favorites. The other one was JMIA, which I traded later on. Tesla was just setting up on the daily chart here, real nice. Yes, the close from yesterday fall. I mean, it was just a nice ascending triangle. All-time high break. It had room up to 680, I thought, 685, somewhere in there. Eventually reached 695. So nailed the target. And I did not want to miss out on this. But I thought it was going to go right out of the gates. So out of the gates, it dropped down. And it was like a $5 drop, $6 drop. And then it shot right back up. And I was like, okay, here we go. We're going to take out this high right here. And it's go time. This thing is just going to start taking out these pre-market highs and launch into orbit, continue on. And it just didn't do that in the first minute. It did it on the second and third and fourth minute. That's where the move was. I just thought it was going to happen here. It did not. I took deep in the money calls. I took the 650 calls at 29.95, and it shot up, and then it came right back down pretty hard. And I had to stop out. I absolutely had to stop out because what Tesla could have done is a pretty big gap up on it. It could have absolutely filled this gap. And that's, it's 15, it's like $15 away. And that would have hurt these options that I took tremendously. So there's no way I could have held that. It was a $2.30 loser, almost $5,000. I broke my rules and I paid the price. So this is a trade that actually could have really hurt me. This is one of the downfalls of E-Trade Pro. This is the platform I use. I've been using it for so long, and I just have not been able to switch because I haven't had time. I haven't found something that's as easy as E-Trade to work with. But this is one of the main faults of E-Trade, and you'll see it when I run it live. Right now, looking at these candlesticks, there's no candle under candle right here. All right, this low is actually lower than this low. This low is higher than this low. There's no candle under candle here. The problem with E-Trade is if I'm flipping through my charts throughout the day, right? And say I flip to Tesla, right? And when I flip to Tesla, this is the 933 candle, right? Well, if I flip to Tesla when it's at 9:33 a.m. and 30 seconds, so I've only, 30 seconds has elapsed of this candlestick. When I flip to this candlestick, it does not, and it's in the middle of the candlestick, meaning the minute hasn't closed. It does not show me what has gone on in the previous 30 seconds before I got there. It doesn't. It just shows me what's going on in this candlestick from me watching it on. That's a big problem. And you'll see that in the next clip because I flipped to a chart and the candlestick closed and the new one opened up. So I didn't get all the information from the previous candlestick, and I made a trade based off of the incomplete information of the candlestick. In the clip I'm about to roll, it looks like the price action went candle under candle, which is bearish, but it didn't do anything. Price shot right back up, and that's why I went long, because it was like, oh, bear trap, here we go, it's going to go long, and I'm going to go long. And luckily, I made money on this trade. In the clip when it runs, it looks like this candlestick goes candle under candle. This little nub here does not exist. It looks like it goes candle under candle, and then price shoots right back up. I go long thinking it's going to go into orbit. It does not. The new candlestick opens up and it starts selling off, and I sell for 27-cent win, just over $500. It could have been a very bad trade based off of the way E-Trade works. So this next trade on Tesla is an actual setup that I will trade 100 times out of 100. It just didn't work this time. This is what I call my pop, my pullback, and then the candle over candle play. So the pop happens, you have price explosion causing a pop in price, big move, and then you eventually will have a pullback. And the pullback, in this case, held the 9 EMA on this 1 minute chart. Pullback candle, no new highs being made here. And the first candle to break the last, break the high of the last pullback candle is where I go long, which was right here. I go long, I took calls, and I doubled up on this sucker. Took 40 calls, I felt real confident on it. But it didn't do anything. When we go candle over candle, I want an immediate move, like seconds, up to the high of the run. The run stopped here. We'll pull back. I want to see when we go candle over candle, I want to see it go right up to here immediately and probably break through it immediately in a big way. Especially after, what is this, a $15 move? Like, come on. So I go long. It kind of stops. And when I see that, that's like my warning sign, like, hey, danger, danger, danger. So I sold half immediately for a small win. We're talking $180. And then this candlestick started to sell off. And when it started to sell off bigger, I sold the rest. That one was 60-cent loser, $1,200. So another loser back to back. But it didn't do what I thought it was going to do. I have to let it go. Got to stick to the rules. So this one was one where I got back in this area. It just kind of got chopping around, and I was like, telling myself, okay, we're so close to high day. Surely it's going to break this thing. If it doesn't, my stop loss is going to be the 9 EMA. What this actually turned out to be is like a little ABCD pattern here on the 1 minute chart, which is price action comes down to a support area. In this case, it's the 9 EMA, that red line there. It bounced for the candle over candle and failed, didn't do anything. Came back down and tested that 9 EMA again, and then it took off. And the breakout spot being right here. So I got a little stubborn on this one. I'm not it worked out well, but it's not one that I'm very proud of. I held in this pullback. It could have absolutely dumpstered on me. It didn't, thank goodness. Finally got that candle over candle break again, break at this level, ABCD pattern, W pattern, whatever you want to call it. Finally broke high a day, got a nice little pop, and I sold in that pop. So I took 40 contracts on this one at $24.50, and I sold at 25, call it 50. So A dollar win, 40 contracts, $4,000. $680.80. That was a nice little win. This next one is nothing special. It's a news play. You won't be able to hear the news because I can't broadcast the news when I'm live, so therefore it doesn't get recorded. But there was some news on this stock. I can't even remember what it was. Doesn't matter. It got a pop, and I sold for about. I got in on this peak, got out 27 cents higher, 2,000 shares. Nice little win. So this next trade that I'm going to go over is Tesla again. And, we just had this pop, pullback, candle over candle, failed, pullback, and then rip for the W pattern. So now we're in that pop phase again, pullback candle. And I want to play the next candle over candle, which happened actually right there. Right here we broke this high by 12 cents. Right here's where I entered in. Right there. The little nub at the end of there, that's when I entered in for looking for a high day move. What actually happened is a false break. It didn't do anything. It didn't continue the move. And a lot of times when that move fails, the opposite happens. Boom, right? So I went long with contracts, 20 contracts. I'd call it $20. And I got flushed out, stopped out like I should have. And it was almost a $2 loss. So just about $3,800, call it. Nice loser. Really nice wins, really nice losses today. Great morning. So this next trade was on a low float recent IPO, which has been a theme recently. For some reason, these just want to go nutty, and this one was coming out of a halt. I saw that it basically went from $5 to $5.75. Not a huge move for these low floaters. Certainly a nice move, but I knew that it was probably going to gap up, and it's probably going to give me an opportunity to hit it going long. So it opens up, and I get a pretty good fill. I'm thinking at this point, worst case scenario, I'll probably lose $1, which would, if I took 4,000 shares, that'd be $4,000. I've lost $4,000 2 or 3 times today already. So I'm like, I can handle that. That's worst case scenario though, right? Best case scenario is it rips higher and goes into a halt. And that's exactly what happened. I got in, call it 630 average, 4,000 shares. And when it opened back up is when I sold. I wasn't going to hold this for a crazy move. I don't even know. Yeah, it did go even higher. Oh, well, doesn't matter. It actually came back down and halted first before it went. But I sold when it opened back up at 750. Nice win. 4,000 shares, $1.30. So, you know, nice win. Got me back in the saddle a little bit. I'm in this SQFT. All out. Dip and rip. Oh, look at that. Look at the dip and rip. Okay. Dip and rip. Oh, false halt. All right. I made my green. I got to go hang out with the fam. Wild morning, though. Up 4K, or down 4K, break even, down 4K, break even. Finally green. 1,097. All right, I'll see y'all later.